All right, greetings everyone. Hope you all are doing well today. It is day 77 of my 90-day challenge, and so far it's been going well so far. And it is spring break once again, so it's going to be a challenging time to stay on track here, as we'll definitely going to be spending time with my lovely family, especially tomorrow. So we'll be going out on a staycation, just heading over to Richmond tomorrow for a day trip and just try out the different. You know, we're just gonna have a food excursion. So far, yeah, it's it's it is what it is. So once again, most are very important as well. We do as much as we can, especially with our health and meeting as much of the nutritional needs that we can get with our health here. All right, give me 1 second here. So yeah, just it's most important is to get the good stuff in over elimination. So elimination, it's going to make it so much easier to do the eliminations, especially when we get the good stuff in. We meet our nutritional requirements as much as possible. And at the same time, nutritional alone is not enough. Obviously, we need physical activity, but once again, physical activity should not be prioritized over our nutritional needs, as that only equates to 30% of our growth here, right? To stay healthy. So at best, focus on nutrition, and then make it so much easier for eliminating the junk and processed foods, sugars and seed oils, and then obviously make it easier for us to to be more active, as we won't get tired as much and sluggish. But at the start it's going to be, it's going to feel like a challenge, but as long as it's not going to be a longer challenge, and especially we want to see physical results, so it's going to make it seeing those physical results so much faster, as we're not also burning gunk at the same time, right? So we're not adding new gunk on our, as we say, we're trying to create a well-oiled machine here with our bodies, clear up the brain fog as well. So adding the right foods will help with that. So but then once again, not only with that, but we also have to our our bodies, our minds, our soul need that community feeling, need that bonding and exchange of energy, and we need to communicate, we need to interact with our fellow human beings as well, right? So definitely important to have that in our lives. So definitely, especially with your loved ones, your family, your friends. So definitely important to include that. So creating wonderful memories for ourselves is very important, and at the same time providing that experience to the next generation, your kids, your nephew, your nieces, right? Your grandkids, right? That's gonna, once again, that is part of our, our connection to, make sure, to ensure that the future is on its way to progress. And those these are the needs that our bodies needs. And it craves that happiness, it craves, that, you know uh, that growth, right? And at the same time, that survival instinct is always going to be there. So making sure that, the future is able to survive with, whatever traits and skills that we provide them, right? So that's the thing where I'll be creating that, all that for tomorrow with my family. So hopefully you guys are enjoying your own spring break. That is happening up here in Canada, or parts of Canada. As I'm finding out that different provinces are have different spring breaks. So yeah, that's the thing, right? And definitely finding that out as well with one of my followers coming back from their cruise vacation. That yeah, definitely there was a lot of families on his cruise. So yeah, that is it is a great time to hang out with the family outside of the normal grind of work and school. So it was great to have those as well, right? And I myself, emphasize the importance of just creating that blissful state for yourself. We tend to use travel as a escape from this these the daily grind, the daily challenge. But we can also create that environment as we focus on improving our environment as much as possible, right? So we can find happiness locally, but definitely it's really up to us to put in the effort and put in the work to making that happen, right? So yeah, just have, once again, we just got to build our capacity for more, being able to handle more, and be able to branch out more, right? So, but yeah, we need to continue to work ourselves to be able to raise our vibrations and attract those things into our lives that are at a higher vibration, at a higher frequency. So we can get all the stuff that we want out of life. But at the same time, we need to be able to accept them, receive them, and retain them. So if we're not raising ourselves, right, our growth, then some of these things will just be like once in a blue moon, or once in a while, or you know one hit wonders, right? So we don't want to have that. We want to make sure that we have these blissful moments coming at us. But definitely important for us to continue to develop ourselves in a way to be able to handle a lot more, right? So yeah, hopefully, once again, today definitely, I spent time with my wife. She had her physio session, so obviously I drive her to her sessions, and then I take my walks around the area. So yeah, today I had my 30-minute Japanese interval walk today, and definitely utilize that as well to listen to some podcasts. And once again, let's do our very best to stay safe as well. Um, Especially picking up either covering one ear and or having some bone conduction headsets will help to make sure you hear, you exercise your mind and learn. And then but then at the same time you're able to hear, our surroundings as well, right? So just don't assume that, if you're not making eye contact with drivers, with other people, don't assume that they see you as well, right? So let's just do our very best. Our own, once again, it's our responsibility to stay safe, to stay healthy, and to stay happy as well, right? So it is our responsibility to do our part and make sure that, once again, we're communicating with our environment. So as much as we have that distraction therapy, let's not let that distraction um, keep us from being safe and sharing the roads, sharing the streets with people around us. Okay, well, without with that said as well, right? Definitely today I was listening to a YouTube part of the platform that I got my coaching certificate on, which is Valley. So they were doing a 3-day workshop with AI mastery. So like an introduction to uh, um, a master class that they're setting out. So it opened my mind. It started on Friday and ended today as its last session. So introduction, and then some simple uses of AI, and obviously it has once again, Mind Valley is a platform for self development, right? In various things, whether it's for, for yourself, your career, or businesses, or various things, right? So um, mentally, physically, spiritually, right? So it's including that as part of your your way you sustain yourself in work, right? And whether it's work or entrepreneurship. So AI is basically it's going to be everywhere. It's being it's growing so much faster um, as companies are these platforms are continuing to push the envelope. And that's the thing, it's there's always going to be resistance to everything. Just imagine way back in the past when elevators were just being introduced, right? Obviously, there's probably pushback to that. Imagine, vehicles being introduced, and obviously there's pushback to that from, the horse and buggy, right? The horse and cart, right? And obviously, there's going to be pushback to those people who make a career out of, with those, right? With horse-drawn carts and transportation. There's a pushback towards that, and but to new technology also creates new opportunities, right? And that's the thing, it we should not fear it as well as replacing jobs, but at the same time, it should open us up the opportunity to improve our jobs and help us. And there's just so much that our capacity can manage. And obviously this is where we create the burnout, we create the stress when as we're training, we're not keeping up. And if it's going to take time for us to create our own systems, to create our rhythms and flows. Why not utilize technology in a way to to make it easier for us, whether it's taking care of other stuff while we focus on our main skill, right, and our tasks, right. um, Utilizing it to just take on simple tasks and once again help us in creative ways. At the end of the day, we still need to make sure that we do our due diligence in verifying that this information is accurate and speaking our language and making sure that the information is correct. But once again, that is really up to us from the experience and training that we got in certain skills and fields. That we look through that, we proofread it as much as possible. But at the same time, there's just so much for us to search, and that's why utilizing AI tools you know as our supplement, not our replacement, right? To help bring in the information data for us to look and review, and then really up to us to pick and choose and verify that, okay, I didn't see it that point of view. I had the something, and once again, always utilize your intuition, your gut feeling as much as possible, and then you can use these AI tools to verify if that gut feeling is accurate, and supplement your own experiences and thought process and information that right. So once again, just let the use of AI in a holistic way, where it's just helping us keep the stress level as much as possible, right? We can use AI and create once again create new opportunities. AI is probably like I said, um, looking after the daily tasks that we do, so that it opens up our time, which is the most valuable resource that we have. We can't make more time. We can utilize the time that we have to make, once again, make the most good of it by staying healthy as much as possible, to continue to self improve and develop ourselves to make the most of that time, right? So, but we can't really buy time or whatnot. We can once again reduce it a lot faster if we just let ourselves go and let the currents of life take control, right? So it's very important for us to make the most out of the time that is given to us, right? So let's put some of the difficult tasks that processing thousands of things that it's humanly impossible to do, right? So let AI do that, and then the top things that we see there, the repetitive information, let's once again look into those, right? So once again, very important as always to just have your core values, because once again we're going through the AI is going through hundreds to thousands of different sources related to what you're looking for, what you're trying to create, and having core values definitely will help you filter through all that and making sure that it aligns with your way of doing things, your belief, right? Your brand, yeah, who you are, and that's what core values are. It is your brand. It is who you are. It is your identity. So So once again, you just definitely utilize these things to once again to make sure that you're keeping your stress levels low, you're continue to improve on yourself, and that you know you continue to once again utilize in a way to keep you healthy as much as possible. So definitely you know definitely check out the it's on Mind Valley on YouTube. So they had a 3-day workshop. You'll definitely find that under the live streams tab. And just have a just keep an open mind. And as we always say, we've been saying here, is just keep an open mind, try new things, create your baseline, right? Create your foundation, and then from there, you know once you studied your baseline, then you know where to improve, right? Where to grow, and then move on to your next personal best in that in that next race, in that category, right? In that field. So definitely, once again, just test these things out. Definitely have the vision of what you're trying to achieve, right? And that's the thing, we because life happens, we lose our ability to create things, to visualize, right? And because we lack the skills of, we look at, oh, we have to learn all these skills, right? And so far, this ideal is on pause. And I definitely had a lot of ideals in my 20s when I definitely got started in finding my vehicle, finding my lane, uh, you know, hopefully to find my career, my entrepreneurship, right? But obviously, where if it hasn't been our thing from youth, then obviously it seems like we might be starting from scratch, right? And that sometimes defeats the purpose of us. It's gonna take time, and sometimes time is uh, life is sometimes is scarce, right? So the utilize of AI in that regard uh, draws in that information for us. And once again, it's great to have an environment as well to help justify those information, right? Once again, that human communication, that human interaction is key for our growth, right? It just accelerates the process of who we want to become a lot faster, right? But utilizing AI uh, to make life easier, not to replace our life, right? Right, just there to make life easier for us to be able to mold ourselves a lot faster. So I know that the rise of AI has created a lot of fears in a lot of people that their jobs have are in jeopardy and might be obsolete. But there's always new opportunities. There's gonna be those to oversee things, and once again, that's why as much as I wanted to include entrepreneurship, coaching that into my my brand, my platform, especially me being having an eBay store from 2018 to 2024, I believe. I think it's 2023. Yeah, 2020, end of 2023, when unfortunately my equipment got damaged here from my ceiling collapsing on it from a rainstorm. But yeah, definitely it's just going to be confusing a lot to people, right? And so definitely gonna stick to this lane this year and possibly this next 5 years as a holistic coach. But maybe including, a unique, may not be unique, but at least not too frequent, being into like being a holistic AI coach, right? So I was in utilizing technology. We use our cell phones a lot, and once again, that's the thing. Imagine go, going from uh, rotary cell phones to push buttons to humongous size, bricks of cell phones to the cell phones that we know today. And that is technology that uh, has still both sides. We have has helped us, but at the same time has created a very distraction oriented information. Um, yes, just utilizing it in certain ways just to distract us and follow certain trends instead of helping us to communicate and grow and expand and just expand the human consciousness and and hopefully, yeah, one day reach outwards instead of within each other, right? And that's the thing, hopefully we come together and seeing things outside our outside our planet. So um as much as we love being here, but at the same time, definitely, we need to expand and grow outwards and upwards, right? So anyways, that's once again, that's my personal belief, and we just get into certain things as well that we're just keeping ourselves from growing. So that is just definitely, I'll leave it at that, because that once again leads to a lot of things, and I just that's what makes us all unique, right? That we have thoughts and beliefs, and all we can do is focus on our own, right? And hopefully find our own hive, our own community, right? And at the same time, finding those ones that you know want growth and communication and collaboration, rather than I guess suppressing those, right? So but yeah, definitely, just think about it, utilize it, and you know utilize it as our assistant, right? And you know once again, it's also possible to create new opportunities, right? If you can add AI, learning how to use it and utilizing, you can be that go-to person as well to for your community. So once again, not a unique thing, obviously, but at the same time, you know less than 1%, I'll just say 0.1% of people who may use coaching, holistic coaching, holistic coaching, or coaching holistic AI, right? So yeah, I don't, it's not going to be a lot, but then I once again, having being able to create those tools that may help people in dealing with stress, um, create that self-belief in themselves as well, and just finding that harmony, that bliss within. And it utilize these tools to be able to do that, right? So if you have thoughts and ideals, then let AI bring those thoughts and ideals to you, right? Just it's getting better and better, and just really, once again, it's us, right? Life has made us stop dreaming again. Life has probably made us settle, and life has has created a way where what it's this is what my life is going to be, right? And it doesn't have to be that way, right? But at the same time, we had to use we had to be resourceful, right? It's not always about having resources are nice, but at the same time we had to be resourceful so that we're able to handle, we had to be able to increase our capacity for more, right? So that's the thing. Life has definitely uh dictate or beat us up, we'll say, right? To just make us believe that there's nothing more to achieve, we'll like to say, but there's always, but we just, once again, we have given up in developing ourselves, and just whether it's situations or we follow things of just constant enjoyment, and small part of that time is in self-development, right? So well, I would love to say, we all have the same 24 hours, but what are we doing with those 24 hours is the big difference, right? So if we're doing it as it is what it is, then obviously we're giving up our own power and ability to create our lives to our current status. And as they say, our what we make on our paycheck is basically dictation of what we're capable or allowed to do. So if you're providing that self improvement in our lives, and obviously that paycheck will definitely increase and give us the opportunity to do a lot more, right? But at the same time, you got to invest some of that into your growth, right? You need to be able to scale, compound, and be able to reach new heights, in especially create new chapters, right? A lot of us tend to utilize the finish line as a conclusion, and we tend to end things with a period instead of a comma, and say what's next, right? And once again, instead of having a conclusion, we need to think as well into what's next, what's the next progression, how can we improve from this from this data, this finish line, right? So we want to create the finish line as the finish line, and that shouldn't be the case, right? So it's not a conclusion, but the next step for our next starting line. All right, thank you so much for joining me tonight. If this has been helpful, feel free to like and give this video the thumbs up. This is being streamed on 3 different platforms, on YouTube, Twitch, and Facebook. So feel free to subscribe and follow, and hit those notification buttons to get notified when I go live. You can scan this QR code to stay updated, or head over to coachryanj.com to get the latest information and my social media outlets, right? So it's in the process, in the works at the moment. So we want to I want to try to get that 3-day workshop invitation out, or sign up ready for March 30th, and hopefully get that ready beforehand so that you guys can sign up right away. And once again, everyone's welcome to join that, and it's just an introduction to the 90-day challenge. And then once again, 2 other courses in there for free to just utilize it in yourself in everyday life, right? So once again, I want to provide value, and I want to make a difference right away. So that 3-day workshop is kind of like my gift to all of you, so that you guys can just start improving your environment and your life, and just want to make a difference, right? And that's always been a part of me. And once again, one of my core values is community. So that's always part of me to create a difference, pay it forward. And once again, it doesn't have to be monetary, but investing your one of your most important resource is your time, right? So putting that towards contribution to any cause that is very important to you, right? So thank you once again. As always, continue to raise your environment, and within that environment, you're able to raise yourself, and then one day you'll become that impact for your own environment, your friends, your family, your colleagues, your very own community. So definitely, if you invest in yourself, right, it's gonna pay forward to you in unexpected ways that you may not plan, right? And I definitely experienced that in my life, with just staying blissful and staying happy and positive, and just once again treating others kindly, right? You just never know what people are going through. That helpful nudge, that helpful support may help someone just once again ignite that fire within them, and definitely help them in a way of just once again dreaming again and pursuing that dream. And then one day that dream becomes reality for them, and who do they thank is that act of kindness, right? And it doesn't cost much to be kind to others. All right, thank you so much for joining me tonight. I won't be able to stream for my regular Monday for my Twitch community. Once again, I will be having a wonderful time with my family tomorrow. But I will be back once again for these nightly wrap up streams. So definitely, I'll see you all on the next stream. Take good care, and I wish you a wonderful week ahead. Take good care.